Hi, everybody. It is May the 1st, a brand new month. And I was just saying, last night's month end was crazy. It was so exciting. I got home. I did 3 launches yesterday as the month closed. And I got home just after 10 o'clock and I was literally vibrating with excitement. Got onto my website, was checking everything. Everything was coming to an end. Everything was wrapped up. It was about 11 o'clock at night. And I was so alive with like excitement and energy. I physically run myself a bath just to stop my body from shaking. It was so exciting. Absolutely love month close. It is just the most exciting time of the month. But now we're in a brand new month. So I hope everybody has done their goals. If not, I'm sure you're going to do them tomorrow on bank holiday. It's a really exciting month for all of us because we're all going nation qual, all of us. So we're all going to be part of massive history in the making. So to kick off the month with a bang, we have got our region training. So McCarthy and Allen region training is at the George in Stamford in the Business Centre on Tuesday. So this Tuesday, the 3rd of May. And it starts at 7 p.m. and that's the DA. And then at 7:30 will be followed by your region training and recognition. And that's £3 per person or per consultant, and your guests are free. And the Melton region training is at the Syson Knoll Hotel on Asfordby Road. That starts at 7 p.m, exactly the same, DA first, followed by region training and recognition at 7:30. £3 per person, guests are free. And those of you that have seen, go on social media, there is an incentive for those coming to the Melton training, regardless as to what team you're in. The person that brings the most guests, so family, friends, any guests that you're bringing, will walk away that night with a whole I Want It All set from Las Vegas. So very exciting. So make sure all your guests are coming along. It's going to be an amazing evening. So I'm going to start with my training. So my name is Danni Wells and I'm a regional vice president with Arbonne International. And I have decided to put together a little bit of training for tonight about my journey. So I have put together a slideshow. I'm just going to share my screen here. And if I can get it going. There we go. Slideshow from the beginning. Fran, I can see you. Can you see this? Can you just put your thumbs up if you can? Perfect. Okay. So I put together a little training about my journey from the beginning of my days right up until this point. So many of you know in Las Vegas, I was recognized as number 5 Parade of Champions, which is basically when somebody has had a lot of growth early on in their business. Now we'll go into a little bit more detail as we go along in this training. They are recognized in Las Vegas on stage. They bring up the top 10 globally. In fact, that's not correct, actually, 20. The top 20 globally that have had the biggest growth and success in their first full year of business, which I will go into in a moment. And I was brought on stage within that top 20 and I achieved position number 5. And that is incredible. When I take you through my journey, even I have to pinch myself. I cannot believe how my life has changed with this business. It just astounds me. So I'm going to go through a little bit about my journey for those of you that have never heard my story before or might not know it as in depth as what I've put together here. So this is me pre-Arbonne. As you can see, I do look very different, a little bit bigger as well, as you can see there. And so that's me wearing my Specsavers uniform. So my previous career before Arbonne was working in an optician's, and I really, really loved my career. I worked there for 7 years. I had a great time and everything was fine. And there's me with my lovely husband, Ian. Many of you will know him as District Manager Ian Wells. So there we are back in the day. So this is going back about 10 years ago. And then we went on to have a family. So we've got 2 little girls. We got married and everything was fine. I won't say it was absolutely perfect, but everything was fine. We never had a lot of money, but we were happy. But then everything changed for us 4 years ago when I gave birth to my second daughter. So this is where my life absolutely changed for us. So our little girl, Ivana, was born and we had a very healthy pregnancy. Everything was fine. And when I gave birth to her, the doctor said something was not okay. Something wasn't right. And it was discovered that she actually was having a brain hemorrhage and a stroke, a really serious one. So the type of damage that it had done to her brain, the consultants had said they'd never seen anyone recover from. So she was on intensive care. life support. And as you can imagine, anyone that's got children, you can imagine sitting there and watching your child being kept alive by machines is just your worst nightmare. And it absolutely was. It just devastated our family. Now, luckily for us, our little Ivana is 4 years old now, and she's doing incredibly well. But back at this point, when all of this was happening, we were told that she wouldn't have much of a quality of life. She wouldn't walk, she wouldn't talk, she wouldn't really have any ability to do anything, and she'd spend most of her life in hospital. So myself and Ian had a conversation back then in hospital where we said, one of us needs to give up our career to look after her. One of us needs to be able to take her to hospital, to look after her, to be at every appointment that she needs to be at. So I decided to give up my career. Now, this is where my life took this massive change. So I told my employee at the opticians that I wasn't going to be coming back to work anymore, that I was going to be a full-time carer of my little girl. Now, the implications of that was I went from earning a fairly good monthly salary from the opticians to being given £60 a week in carers allowance. Now, I am forever grateful that living in the UK, we do get some sort of help from our government if we need it. Now, £60 a week was given to me from the government, and I was very grateful for that. I really, really was. However, it wasn't enough money to cover our bills. So with the loss of my income, we would see Ian's paycheck come in at the beginning of each month, but it would only last us about 2 weeks, and then we wouldn't have any money to pay for the last few weeks of the month. So we were borrowing money left, right and centre, loans, credit cards from Ian's parents. So we racked up a phenomenal amount of debt. So at this moment in time, going back to I found this on Google. This is a picture of how I felt my life was. Me in an alleyway, dark, feeling depressed. So I was suffering with depression and anxiety, and I was not in a good place at all. We were in significant debt, and I just lost me. I'd lost my identity. So all of my friends will, if you ask them, say that I was just miserable all the time. I was complaining. I was mardy. I had no purpose in life. I was just unhappy. So along came my friend Emma Dickinson, who I actually met from baby groups. And she's a lovely gal. You guys that know always say that she's a lovely gal. I wasn't particularly close to Emma, but I knew her from baby groups, and I'd have a coffee with her. And one day she put something on Facebook about starting her own business. And I was really intrigued. I was like, Emma's a smart girl. So I was like, what are you doing? And so she said, well, I'll tell you, but come over for coffee and I'll explain in person. So I was like, okay. Now, at this point, Farah was 3 and Ivana was 2. So I had a 2 and a 3-year-old. And I managed to find a photograph of the day I went to Emma's house for a coffee. And you can see the date on here was the 17th of June, 2014. That was the first time I'd ever heard of Arbonne and network marketing and products, all the stuff she told me, which to be honest wasn't a great deal, but she didn't need to tell me a great deal. She was a nice girl who I trusted, and she was excited about what she was doing. And she basically made me realize that if I wanted to change my life, I could do, but I would have to do something to change it. If I didn't do anything that was going to change my life, nothing would change. So I kind of was like, okay, right, I'm going to take this seriously. So what I did was I took a book from her. The book that I took was called the Don Failer 45-second presentation, or otherwise known as Own Your Life. And I took it on holiday with me. So after I spoke with Emma, we went on our annual holiday to Great Yarmouth in a caravan. This is how much my life has changed. This was our holidays. Like, there's nothing wrong with caravan holidays, nothing at all. But the reason why we went on caravan holidays was because we couldn't afford anything else. And now we obviously get paid to go on all these trips with Arbonne. So this is how much my life has changed in almost 2 years. So this is some pictures from our holiday that I went on after I spoke to Emma. And I don't know if you can see here, but I've zoomed in on the bed in the caravan, and the book is just there that I've been reading. So I thought that was quite interesting. Okay, so on the 1st of July, I decided I was going to do this as a business. I was like, right, I need my life to change. I'm doing this. So in July, I placed an order of 194 QV, and the things that I ordered were the shampoo, the conditioner, and the body wash trio, the protein shake, the baby wash, primer, mascara, and the travel set of the Calm range. And I basically was like, okay, what do I do now? So I asked Zoe Allen, who I had only really been introduced to from Emma. I didn't really know her at the time, but I just said, can I just come to the things that you're going to and just listen to what you're doing? And she was like, yeah, sure. So she would say where she was going. So she'd say, right, I'm going to Stanford to do X, Y, or Z. So to us guys that have been doing this business a little while now, we'll know that as region training and area training. But when you're a new consultant, that doesn't mean anything to you. But she said where she was going to be, and I got myself to where she was so that I could listen to how she did the business. She was an area manager at the time. So she was the most successful person that I knew that did Arbonne. So I wanted to be around her and around what she was doing and take notes and pick up. So that's one of my biggest tips, that this business is your business. It's nobody's responsibility to make your business a success. It's your responsibility, and it's up to you to find out where the information is. That's my biggest tip, and that's what I did in the beginning. I asked where the successful people were going to be, asked if I could go along and listen. And I would highly recommend that somebody that you respect and admire and look up to that does well with Arbonne, ask them if you can go to where they're going to be when they do area training, region training, one-to-ones, workshops. If they're happy for you to come, which most of the time people are, go and watch and take notes. So I also read The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, and I listened to Making the Shift. I had never heard of personal development in my entire life, but Sue McLean was a lady that I met at an event where I followed Zoe to, somebody that I didn't know, but she told me that she believed in me. She said, Danny, you are going to do this business and you're going to make it a success. You're going to change your family's life because of this business. Now, I had never, ever had anybody believe in me at all. And she gave me this book and this CD, and it changed my life because suddenly one person told me that I could do something good in my life. So I really, I take this on board, and every time that I sponsor somebody, I make sure that I'm that Sue McLean for them, that I tell them that I believe in them. I absolutely believe that they can do this. So be a Sue, because she breathed so much belief into me that it made me believe in myself. Okay, so that's July. Right, August. So second month in. Now, as you can see here, I did 997 QB. Now, you're probably thinking, why didn't I make it to district qualification? I don't know. I didn't have a clue what I was doing, to tell you the truth. So that's my next tip. If you don't have a clue what you're doing, you can still be good at Arbonne. Don't worry. I really didn't know what I was doing for quite a while. And there's Emma, and we're going through a little bit of team training. Okay, that's August. So it comes to September, and my QB's gone up to just over 3,000. And I didn't attend my first AAC because, to be honest, I didn't really fully understand the significance of it. And I actually was even offered a free ticket, but I didn't really get what it was. And my best friend had organised a meal on the same night of AAC, and I'd already committed to my best friend. So I couldn't let her down to go to something that I wasn't even really 100% sure what it was. So my next thing is, make sure that when you are promoting events, you really promote what they are. Really make people aware of how big these events are, because I do wish that I'd gone to AAC that first year, but you know, you live and learn. So I do live and learn with that. So the first person I sponsored into my team was a girl called Jasmine. So I've just put that down as leg one to make that really easy to understand how my team grew. And then the second person I sponsored was a girl called Tony A. And the third person was Claire MC. So there you can see I've got 3 legs to my business. I've sponsored 3 people. And then my mother-in-law, Suzanne, said she wanted to do this business. Well, she didn't really, to be honest, she just wanted the products. But I said, join as a business builder, you get a bigger discount. And Ian also was ready to join this business as well. Now, this is where I made a massive mistake. I put them under somebody else. So I put my mother-in-law and my husband under somebody else. Looking back, I don't know why I did that. But again, if you make mistakes in this business, it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to die from the mistakes you make. It's okay, and you can still do well. So it's fine. But I massively recommend that you don't put people under people unless they are mutual friends, and the person that is going to be the sponsor is going to be the person that is going to help mentor and coach that new person. So I just put Suzanne and Ian there just to build my network, and I shouldn't have done that. Don't do that. Make sure you sponsor people directly, because you're the person that's coaching and mentoring them. Unless, as I say, they are mutual friends, and the person you're putting them under is going to take the reins and be that mentor, that coach, okay? My first paycheck came in September, and it was £12.50, and I went into district manager qualification month 1. Okay, so October, I completed as a district with 4,300 QBs, and the fourth person joined their business with me, and that was Danielle. So as you can see, I've got 4 legs of my business growing there, and that's me completed as a district manager, and that's my upline. So I'm sponsored by Emma, who was sponsored by Laura Leggett, who was sponsored by Zoe Allen. Okay, so in November, my team turned over 9,000 QBs, and as you can see, I didn't push towards area qual. Again, absolutely clueless. I still didn't have a clue at this point, and we finally met Claire Shaw, and we saw the first real white Mercedes, because at this point we were told that when you get to a certain level in this business, you are given a cash bonus to have a white Mercedes, but we'd never seen one, so we didn't actually know if it was actually real. We kind of hoped it was, but we didn't actually know. So when we finally saw Claire Shaw's Mercedes, that was quite exciting. So there it is. The Mercedes is real. Yay! Okay, December, now over 10,000 QBs, and I've gone into area qualification month 1. Now, at this point, I had not promoted any district managers. So I've gone into area qual with no districts in my team. And we went to our first ever Arbonne event, which was Kim Mellor's car presentation. So this was the first time that we actually saw Arbonne people, like other Arbonne people. And Nikki Desmond, about Peter Pants, when she first saw Sarah Dunning, she was like, oh my God, to be honest, I think we all were actually. We actually saw Arbonne people, Ian Pritchard, Melanie Dean, Hetty Gifford, all these people that we'd seen on YouTube, we actually saw in real life. So we were like girls at like a Boyzone event or something, a Boyzone concert. It was really exciting. One other thing I'll add is December in my business here, I still do not have one client or one preferred client at this point. Okay, January. So we complete as an area. So I completed area with just over 13,000 QBs, and that was over 2 months. And then I promoted to the people in my team that promoted to district manager. So if you go back to leg 1, I sponsored Jasmine, who sponsored Suzanne, who sponsored Sean, who sponsored Christine. That's 4 going down in one leg. They all promoted to district managers. Now, at this moment in time in my business, I didn't realise that you only get paid as wide as you are deep when people promote. So to be paid on your 4 districts deep, you need to be 4 districts wide. So I didn't realise that. So this is where I started to really understand Arbonne and really actually get the compensation plan and understand it. I also promoted Claire MC. That was in leg 3. So that's Jane's leg, for anybody that was wondering. So therefore that's 5 district managers in total at this point, and 2 of them are direct. And we went to our first leadership academy, and this is where I met Fiona McCarthy for the first time. So this was the first time I met my VP at RVP, and there's a picture of us at the leadership academy. That was really, really exciting. Again, started to see people that we'd seen on YouTube, started to see them in real life. Okay, so in February we went up to 18,000 QB. And I promoted Tony A from leg 2. So that's another direct district manager. So now I'm 3 DMs wide. So Jasmine's a DM from leg 1, Tony from leg 2 is a DM, and Claire from leg 3 is a DM. So I'm 3 DMs wide, which means I now get paid 3 DMs deep, okay? But I'm 4 deep, as you can see there. So I needed to work on promoting a fourth district. Okay, so in March, we earned a trip, myself and Zoe earned a trip to Arizona, something that I wasn't even aware of. I just had this email one day to say, you've earned a trip to Arizona. I was like, what? Where's Arizona? Didn't even know. I had no clue. And so myself and Zoe flew out. We'd earned the Areas in Paradise trip to America. We met Donna Johnson, and we met for the first time our national vice president, Susan McCannon. So that was really, really exciting. That was where I started to really get Arbonne. So I'm a bonus in area, I think, at this point, and this is where I actually got Arbonne. So it took a little while for me to actually get what Arbonne actually was and what was involved. And this is where I helped Tony Langham promote. That's in leg 2. So this is Jennifer Cowie's leg. So Tony Langham promoted Jennifer Cowie. So my team are starting to get stronger and stronger, and we're promoting districts now. So in April, I was not going to go to Las Vegas because of having the 2 little girls. I felt like I couldn't go to Las Vegas. I'd already left them for a few days to go to Arizona. There was no way that I could go to Las Vegas. I couldn't afford it. There was just no way it was going to happen. And then about 3 or 4 days before Las Vegas, some of my team had booked, and I just thought to myself, I can't afford to go. I don't want to leave my little girls, but if I don't go to Las Vegas, my business is not going to move at the pace I need it to move at. I need my business to move quicker so that I can help my husband not have to work as many hours, so I can help my family, so that I can be the proof that this business works. So about 3 or 4 days before Vegas, I booked my ticket and I booked my flights and I got my bum out to Las Vegas. And do you know what? It was the best thing I ever did, because Jennifer Cowie promoted to district manager there, and everybody knows that she is an incredible person in my success line. And the month after Las Vegas, we went region qual. So look at that. We went from 29 to 43. That is huge. That is massive. Going to Las Vegas paid for itself. I paid to go to Las Vegas. The month after, I earned the money back from my phenomenal growth with my business, that I was able to pay back the money on my credit card. Massive tip there: go to Las Vegas. If you can go, just go, because honestly, it was so worth it. I would not have had that region qual, that 43,000, if I hadn't have gone to Las Vegas. So we've gone into region qual in the May. Kelly Bromley promoted to district, who's in Jen's leg, so leg 2. And Jane Brown, who was in leg 3, sponsored by Claire Moore Collis, went to district. And I had my first PC join. So I've been doing this business for nearly a year, and I finally have a preferred client. So this is what I mean. I'm starting to get the business at this point. So again, I'll reiterate, don't worry if you're clueless. So June, we completed as a region with 54,000 QVs with 3 minutes to spare. I was in Gran Canaria. We'd booked a holiday months before this was happening, and I didn't realise that we would be in Gran Canaria on month end of June. And we had about 3 minutes left while we were over there, and we literally just scraped it. So you can imagine the stress / anxiety / excitement. And Jennifer Cowie completed as an area. So you might have noticed the common theme here, that every time I've promoted without. So I promoted to area without districts, and then I promoted to region without areas until the same month. So I've never ever had my E. I've never been an EDM or an EAM or an ERVP. So I've always promoted before my team have. Then July, the month after region, we had a system change. So you guys that have been doing this business for a little while will remember this. We had a system change. Now things were working really well for me. I was understanding Arbonne, I was getting Arbonne, but things that we were doing weren't duplicating. And in network marketing, it's not what works for you, it's what duplicates. So you might be doing something and thinking, well, this works great for me, but does it duplicate? Because network marketing isn't about you being amazing. It's about you being able to teach other people how to be amazing. And I was watching my team not duplicate and not grow their own teams and not be independent. Like nobody knew what to do. So I read this book called Dare to Dream and Work to Win. And it basically said, if you don't have a 10-step simple system that people can follow, if you were to drop dead, could people follow what your system is? And I thought, oh gosh, do you know what? I need to relook at this. So I read this book, and I decided that we needed to come back with a different system. We needed to introduce launches. We needed to introduce people building PC and client bases, and we needed to have a reshuffle. And during this, I did lose half of the team and my QV went down. Now, you can imagine I was devastated. I had built my team and I couldn't have been any more depressed at this moment. I literally curled up into the fetal position and was like crying. But I was like, no, I'm going to come back. I've read this book and I'm going to build this business stronger and better. And some people in the team stayed, and those people in the team are now strong districts and area quals and area managers. So the people that stay, they're going to be your strongest team members. So come August, and Victoria McHale came along. So this girl started her business, and I asked her if she trusted me. And at the time, I don't think she knew what I was talking about. But I was like, do you trust me? And she said, yeah. And I said, I'm going to tell you everything that we need to do, and I just need you to agree to it. So thankfully for me, she said, okay. And what we did with Vic was introduce a whole new way of building our business. So we started off with launches. We did online launches. We did Strong Start, something that I'd never even heard of properly. So we encouraged Strong Start. We helped people. Before Vic came along, when people used to start their business, we just used to give them a book. We used to give them the Don Frailer book and be like, right, this is when region training is. See you then. Good luck. And it wasn't, we weren't helping support people. We weren't teaching people the skills that they needed to be able to independently run a successful business. So this is where everything kind of shuffled for us. And this was kind of like a bit, for me, this was a new chapter for me. And when Vic started, it changed everything because it helped me see what didn't work and what did work. And it helped me go forward with working like as a better leader. I changed as a leader at this point. I helped Ian promote to district manager and Danielle promote to district manager. So she was my 4th direct DM. And Danielle has the Torquay team in her leg. So if anybody wonders where the Torquay team come from, that's Danielle. She's not active in the business anymore, but she's my 4th leg. And then we made the top 10 to-dos. So that is what we follow. When somebody starts their business, we go through the top 10 to-dos. Like step 1 is teach your new consultant around the website. Step 2, book your launches. And we go through these step-by-step guides, really simple ways to help somebody get started with their business, straight into activity and aiming for strong start. September comes and we launch into 88,000 QB. And I went to my first AAC with a team of around 20 people there. And then walked the stage as a new area manager. Okay, then October, Suzanne promoted to area manager, so she's in my leg 1 and moved round direct to me. And Kelly Bromley promoted to area, so she's in my 2nd leg and she's promoted by Jen. And then November, we aimed for nation and we didn't hit it, but that's okay because we came back with a vengeance after this. So December came, and for the first time ever, I didn't maintain my promotional level. So to maintain as a region, it's 40,000. And it was the first time I'd never maintained. And I was devastated. I felt so ashamed of myself. However, it set me up for a massive comeback. And over that period, over Christmas, when this all happened, I read 6 books over that 2-week period. And that was what set me up for massive momentum in January. So and also the AIT trip was announced, which is all based in your central district. So my central district was basically me and Emma Wood, and both of us were probably just doing about 150, not really a lot more. So to earn the Bahamas trip, I knew I was going to have to work seriously hard at my business and regrow. So on the 1st of January, on New Year's Day, I got pen to paper and I decided I was going to grow a brand new region from scratch. Somehow I was going to bring in an extra 40,000 QB on top of the region I'd already built. And somebody sent me Bianca Townsend, Hayley Staff, Harriet Lavery Reinders, Stacey Humphries Blackley, and I got to work. I launched these new consultants into Strong Start districts, and we just went into massive momentum. And it was honestly because I put out there that I was going to find people that were looking for me. I knew that I had skills that I could teach somebody how to be good at this business, and I just needed to find those people that were looking for me. So that's one of my big tips, is there are people out there like myself that are looking for this. So I never want to hear anybody say, I just can't find anybody, I just can't get anybody. Like, I hate hearing that, because there are so many people out there like myself looking for this. You're the person that is going to match that jigsaw to that other piece. You're going to match those 2 pieces of jigsaws together. Because if somebody had told me about Arbonne 7 years ago when this first started in the UK, my life would have been completely different. I was looking for this, but I didn't realize I was looking for it. So I never want to hear anybody say, I can't find anybody that wants to do this. There are people out there, you just need to find them. So I put it out there and I found these people that were looking for this. And do you know what? They've become like my best friends. They've become like my closest friends now. So February, 6,000 QB. And again, I'm still putting it out there to the universe. I'm looking for people that are looking for me. I'm looking for people that are looking for me. I'm doing my affirmations. I'm doing my miracle morning. I'm reading. I'm doing my Go for Gold SoundClouds. I'm absolutely in massive, massive momentum at this point. And I sponsored Holly Clark, Anna Fabriga, Claire Rousel-Smith, and Michelle Kent. And I don't know if you can see there, that is a picture of my team at that point. So it's going absolutely crazy at this point. There's people left, right, and centre. And then in March, we earned a trip to Arizona again. So I went on my 2nd trip to Arizona. So there's our team in Arizona. And I just thought that you might like to see a picture of my suitcase, because everybody seemed to find that funny when we were in Arizona. I do just chuck everything in, and there's my hair extensions. And then we did our first leadership academy that we all put on together as an international team. So myself, Zoe, Fiona, and a few others in the UK that are international regions put on our first leadership academy. And I sponsored Hayley Anderson Richardson, who are all these people, by the way, that I sponsored as a new region, if you like. So from the beginning of January, were all people that I had made friends with online, all of them. So it doesn't matter who you know, it's people that are going to come into your life. So I was making friends and people were just starting their business with me. And then in April, we went to GTC and I sponsored Natalie Crawford, Emma Bowes and Sarah Evans. And there's our team at Vegas. And I walked the stage twice and we did 85,000 QB in April. And in May, we will be in Nation Qual. So myself, Zoe and Fiona are all going into Nation Qual. And as a team, in the Wells Success Line, we are all going to be putting together, like those of us that are absolutely running with this, 180,000. Now that is a big jump, but I've been speaking to and listening to so many Nation calls where people go from about 60, 70,000 QBs 1 month, the next month Nation Qual. So we're going to just go exactly the same way. We're absolutely in massive momentum and we're just going to ride that momentum. So different legs to my business. I do get asked this all the time, so I'm not going to go through all of this. But these are all the different legs in my business now. And a big thing I wanted to mention is they're not all personally sponsored by me. So sometimes it's not the person that you sponsor that becomes that leg of your business. It might be somebody that they sponsor or they sponsor or they sponsor. So when you sponsor somebody, make sure that you are building into their network and helping them build a team. Because if that person you sponsor decides that this business isn't for them, that's absolutely okay, but you can work with their team. So make sure you're building into their network. So going back to Vegas, I walked the stage twice, once as a new regional vice president and once as the Parade of Champions. So the Parade of Champions is an event that you guys will either get to walk yourself next year, or you will have somebody in your team that may not have even joined yet that will be in this parade. And the reason why that's going to happen is because you know about it now. So you can put that out there to the universe. So what it is the top 20 people globally that started their business in January this year as a consultant or a district manager. So it doesn't matter if they started their business last year, as long as they were a consultant or a district manager in January this year, so 2016, they can be entered into the Parade of Champions. And what they need to do is help the most people promote to district managers directly from January this year to December this year. So if that's you, go for that. Absolutely. Promote district managers like you're a district manager making machine. If you're not able to be entered into this because maybe you were an area manager in January and you can't be entered into the Parade of Champions, you can sponsor somebody and help them become somebody in the Parade of Champions, or maybe somebody in your team. So if you want somebody in your team to walk the stage as a Parade of Champions, you need to help them promote district managers. It's all about promoting the district managers. Okay, so a few of my success tips. At the beginning of each month, make sure that you get your diary. This is what I do at the beginning of every month. Get your diary and fill it. Absolutely fill it. So decide what QB you're going to be bringing in for your paycheck. You decide what your paycheck is. So decide what you want your paycheck to be, and then you need to work out how much QB you need for your paycheck to be that amount. And then depending on how much QB you need is how many hours you need to dedicate to Arbonne. So let's say you want to earn £500, okay, for the month. So you need to be bringing in, I'd say probably about 2,500 QB between your team, somewhere around about there, roughly. So then you need to probably be working about 10 hours a week on your Arbonne business. So you need to get your diary out and put circles into your diary that give you 10 hours a week. Now, I cannot emphasize this enough. Don't just fluke your business. Don't treat it like a hobby and just think, well, I'll just do Arbonne when it comes into my life. You have to treat this like a job. You absolutely have to treat it like a job, because if you don't, it won't pay you like you want it to pay you. It'll pay you like a hobby. So circle everywhere that you're going to put time into your business and then fill it. So for me, I fill my diary with these circles and then I go to work booking appointments. So I'm booking workshops, I'm booking one-to-ones, I'm booking online calls, I'm booking DAs, I'm booking activity, income producing activity. And I must say that if you're intending to read books or do some training, that's fabulous. Like absolutely, you need that as well. but you can't count that as income producing activity. Okay, so these circles, these 10 hours a week or more, if you want to do more QB, they need to be income producing. Income producing, if you're not sure, well, what is income producing? It means products are being bought. The only time you can count income producing activities when products are being bought, either through a consultant, a client, a preferred client, or dropping products off, or, you know, products are being bought. That's going to build your QB. That's income producing activity. So that is one of my biggest top tips. So for me, I've had a massive transformation. I have absolutely changed my life with this business. So as you can see, there's some pictures there of me before, and then obviously me now. And then I've just got a few tips that I've just written down. I know we've only got a few minutes left. So a few tips that I've got from my journey is become more so you can offer more. So the only place where you can, how can I describe this? This is T. Harv Eker, and I massively recommend listening or reading T. Harv Eker. He says that the only place money comes from is when somebody gives it. So you can't just grow money. Somebody has to give you money for you to have money. So why would somebody give up their money to somebody else? They will only give up their money for somebody else when they're buying something of value. So for example, I pay a cleaner to clean my house. I give my cleaner my hard-earned money because she is offering me something of value. She's cleaning my house and making my life easier. So why do I do that? Because she adds value to my life. So how you are going to encourage somebody to take money from their hard-earned bank is by giving them something of value. So you can give them something of value, either teaching them how to build a business or teaching them how to use better, safer, purer products. So make sure you are offering good value. People want their life to be easier. They want good value for money. They want good service. So just become more so that somebody says, do you know what? Danny makes my life easier. She helps me with my shopping. She gives me good customer service. She gives me advice. She just is so helpful. Make sure you're that person. Make sure you're giving the best value and you're constantly growing as well. Okay, a couple of other things. Hang around successful people. Now, before I started Arbonne, I didn't know anybody successful at all. I wasn't successful, so I didn't hang around successful people. One thing that Arbonne has given me is it's given me a network of successful people, and you guys have got that for free. You can go and be around successful people for free with Arbonne events. You can go to region training, area training, online events. You can read the books that are recommended to you. You can go to anything Arbonne related and be around successful people. Now, one thing I will say that I've learned from my journey in Arbonne is successful people think differently to unsuccessful people. And that's not to put unsuccessful people down, because I wasn't successful before Arbonne, but successful people think very differently. One of the things that I've really learned from being around VPs and NVPs and just successful people in general is they never complain, ever. Never, never, never. Never have I ever heard a successful person in Arbonne complain about price increases, products changing, the ink changing on the packaging on products, a compensation change. I have never heard a successful person complain. I will only ever see a successful person talk positively about something, and they don't worry about the small stuff. They are always positive and happy, and if something comes along, they just ride it out like a swan. They just glide. Their legs might be flapping under the water, but they never ever show that. So hang around successful people and try and be more like successful people, and that will help you as well. Okay, a couple more top tips. Make reading a habit like brushing your teeth. And I know you probably hear it from everybody. I did, and I wasn't a reader. And every time Zoe would say, oh, you know, read, I'd be like, yeah. No, honestly, it's the best advice. The more you read, it is like feeding your brain food. You are feeding your brain food, and that's going to change how you are with other people, and that's going to attract people into your life. I cannot even begin to tell you now how my life has changed with Arbonne. I feel like I've become a magnet. People home in on me and they ask me things, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But it's because the more you read, the more people know you know, and they want to know what you know, and they want to be around you because you know more than what they know. So read, honestly, make reading the same kind of habit that brushing your teeth is. And it's not easy. I know that. If you're not a reader, like I wasn't, it's not easy. It is going to take time. It's like a muscle. It is going to have to grow, but make it a habit. Honestly, I swear, make it a habit. Excitement and nervousness feel the same. Excitement and nervousness feel the same. Decide if you're excited or nervous because they feel the same. So when I say to myself, feel nervous, I'm like, do you know what? I don't feel excited. So when I get that butterfly sensation before I go to do public speaking, which even now I'm still not massively like, yay, public speaking, I still get that butterfly sensation. As soon as I feel like in my head I'm nervous, I'm like, no, I'm excited. So excitement and nervousness feels the same. Decide what word you're going to use to describe that feeling. Be independent. Don't rely on anybody to create success for you. Be independent. Make sure it's fun. If your business isn't fun, people won't want to do it because they can earn £500 a month doing something else. They might not enjoy it, but they can do. People can earn extra money doing different things. Why would they want to earn extra money doing Arbonne? The reason why is because it's fun. We're around nice people. We get to do things that other people don't get to do. For one example, before I did Arbonne, I used to have a couple of nice outfits. Yeah, they might have only cost 15 quid, but to me, they were nice outfits. I didn't have anywhere to wear them. So sometimes people are sat in their front room on a Sunday night thinking, gosh, do you know what? It'd be so nice to go somewhere and wear that nice outfit. And then they go on Facebook and they see you at Area Retreat wearing your nice outfit around other positive, nice people in their nice outfits. And they're thinking, gosh, I wish I could do what they're doing. And they will message you. What you put on social media, people are attracted to if it's attractive. So make sure that you are showing how much fun you're having. Like, I cannot emphasize how many people message me when I put something fun that I do with my job. For example, and I don't do this every week, but every few weeks, I will post a photo of being on Zoom like this, full of happy people. And I will say something like, gosh, I don't half love Sunday nights, sitting on the sofa around such wonderful new friends that I've made with my work, learning, growing, having fun, building my business, love my job. Within 10 minutes, I've got 10 messages from people going, what is it you do again? What's that thing? So don't overdo it, don't overkill it, but people are attracted to fun. I swear they are attracted to fun. Most people aren't having the fun in their life that they want to be having. People want to feel loved. They want to feel adored. They want to feel wanted and appreciated. If you make sure that everybody knows that in your business, you are loved, respected, appreciated, adored, then people are attracted to that. And I would massively emphasize that when people in your team have done something, make a tremendous deal out of it. Because when people saw me go in district, and it wasn't me banging on about being district, but all of my family and friends in Arbonne were saying about me being a district manager, that was what attracted other people. They were like, gosh, Danni's like proper getting bigged up on Facebook. All these people are really like banging on about whatever it is she's done, whatever this district thing is. And so when people are really bigging you up, their network are looking, they're watching. So make sure the fun is top of your list. Never be bitter about other people's success. Being bitter is a bad place to be. If you even feel one niggle of bitterness because somebody else has done strong start or district or done a bonus, anything like that, one little seed of bitterness is going to send you down the wrong track. And we've all been there. I hold my hands up. Honestly, when Zoe Allen was ACE award achiever, I was like, but then I decided to make the decision. I was like, do you know what? She deserves this. She's incredible. She deserves this. And within a few days, I got a message to say that I was on the Parade of Champions final list. You have a decision. Be bitter or be celebratory about somebody else's success. There's only one way you're going to be a winner. Don't be bitter. That tiny little niggle, just bat it away and just be so proud of the person that's done something, because the more you are like, wow, that's amazing, that's fantastic, then the more good things that are going to happen to you. Okay, I think I'm coming to the end of everything. I think that's all of it. Oh, one final thing, and then I'm done. I promise. One final thing. How you do anything is how you do everything. Now, I used to hear this and think, what are they talking about? How you do the little things is how you do everything. So if you're finding that you're always late for things, that's because you're a late person. You've got to change that. You've got to change that blueprint. We all have a blueprint, and T. Harv Eker talks a lot about blueprints, and he talks about how we can change our blueprints. So if you're the sort of person that is always putting yourself down, you can't get away from that until you change that blueprint. How we do anything is how we do everything. I've had to change so much with Arbonne. Like, my negative self-talk was horrendous. I would always be like, oh gosh, Danny, you're so ugly, and gosh, look at you, look at all those pretty people, and you're this and you're that, gosh, look at this, and oh gosh, you can't public talk, you can't possibly help people, you can't. And honestly, it was like meh, 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 meh. I had to change my blueprint, and it's not been easy. I tell you now, it has not been easy to change my blueprint, but my God, has it been worthwhile. You have to change your blueprint to change what is on the outside. So if you're not sure what the heck I'm going on about, read T. Harv Eker, Millionaire Mind, and you will be amazed, because you will understand what your blueprint is, how you even got to that. It's usually come from my childhood, I'll tell you now. Usually your childhood creates your blueprint and change it. The book tells you how to change it. So how you do anything is how you do everything. So I hope that that's been helpful. I know I've gone over time, and I'm so sorry about that. You all know me. I do go on and on and on. I've got so much to say. But I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me. I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for my family, my Arbonne family, which is you guys. Uplines, downlines, sidelines. I don't care where you sit in our team. You are family to me. And it's because of you guys that I get to have what I get to have now. And it's got nothing to do with the money. It's got nothing to do with free time. It's all to do with how you guys make me feel. You make me feel so amazing, something I've never had in my entire life. And there are people out there that want to feel amazing as well. You have got the power in your hands to give somebody else what Emma gave to me. Emma gave to me the most magical gift that I will never be more grateful for her. You've got everything in your hands to give to somebody else. There are thousands of people out there looking for what you can give them. Find them and give them this gift, because you will just, oh my gosh, I can't even put it into words. Just make sure that your May sees you giving people this gift of Arbonne, because it is a gift. So have a fantastic May, everybody. I hope that call's been interesting. I hope it's given you some ideas and some inspiration. I love you all so much. I just adore all of you. I can't wait to see month end on May and see all of you go either district qual, district complete, area qual, area complete, or region qual, nation qual. I want to see it just go crazy. I want the last day of May to be insane. So thank you so much, everybody. I love you all, and I will see you all in the week. Bye, everyone. Bye.